Hi and welcome to Dave's Guitar Lessons. This is video number 3 of our 30-day challenge on sweep picking. In this video we're going to be continuing similar to last week's video with 3 string sweeps. One of these exercises is going to be a 3-string sweep, which is going to be the 8th note triplets again. And the other sweep we're going to be looking at is going to be a 16th note sweep again, but this time it's going to be using 4 strings and it's going to be mixing a bit of alternate picking in there as well. So the 2 arpeggios we're going to be looking at is the G dominant 7th arpeggio and an F or an F6 arpeggio. Now, similar to what I said in the last video, I'm not going to break down the mechanics of the sweep picking in this video, as we've already covered that in week number 1. So if you need to have a bit of a refresher, or if you're new to sweep picking, you've joined us at this video, it might be an idea to go back to video number 1 where I'll cover all the technical aspects of sweep picking and how you should be practicing it. So if you'd like to, please subscribe to the channel so you can get access to all the videos as soon as they come available. And be sure to check out the links in the description box below so you can get your free tabs for this lesson and also have access to the backing tracks that accompany this lesson. There's also a lot more backing tracks covering a wide variety of different tempos, so you can start off at a nice slow tempo, making sure that you're actually getting all the notes individually right, and then they'll be going up in 10 BPM chunks. So if it starts at 60, the next backing track will be at 70, then 80 and so forth, and then you can really work on building your speed up. So I'm going to pick up the guitar now and I'm going to break down the 2 arpeggios that we're going to be using over this week's challenge, and I hope you enjoy the arpeggios that we've put together for you. Right, so we're going to start by breaking down our G7 arpeggio, so it outlines a G dominant 7th chord. So similar to the last video, this one's going to be a 16th note groove, and the next sweep's going to be a triplet groove again. So 16th note groove, again, all that means is we're going to be doing a count of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And we'll break down the notes first for you. So we're going to start off by playing a G note on the D string, which is at the 5th fret. Then it goes down to the 4th fret on the G string, then the B string at the 3rd fret. Then your little finger comes over and plays the 6th fret on the B string as well. And then we finish by playing the high E string at the 3rd fret, which is a G note as well. And then we basically follow that back up. So you might notice already that this is going to be partly a sweeping exercise but partly alternate picking as well. So it's really branching into kind of combining a couple of different techniques. So the main part of our sweep is the first part. So it's going to start by playing down pick on the first 3 notes. So again, thinking as I always mention, make sure that you're releasing the fingers after each one of the notes has been played. So you're not getting, which is more of a chord rather than a sweep. And that when you're sweeping with your right hand, you make sure you push through the string and land on the next string down. So you're not picking the note outwards, or just picking the note individually, you're actually pushing through and creating that sweeping motion. So you do those 3 notes together. Then it's going to be an up pick at the 6th fret with the little finger, and then a down pick on the high E string at the 3rd fret. Then it goes back, so it's going to be an up pick on the B string with the little finger, and then the first finger is a down pick, and then you continue with your sweep, so it's going to be an up pick, and then you could actually start it again now. So this is the start of the lick, so this is where you can go back to a down pick. So you might notice in there are different options for the way you're picking. So the way I did it there was down pick, down pick, down pick, up pick, down pick, up pick, down pick, up pick, and then back to the beginning, so down, down, down. So your only real part that you're sweeping there is the first 3 notes. The rest of it could be seen as a bit more of an alternate picking exercise. Now, there's a few things that you can look at here because there are options, and a lot of times when it comes to sweeping, you want to find a method that you find most at home with or most comfortable with. Now, I found when I get this sweep up to speed, I actually change my sweep picking action. It's a little bit different. So what tends to happen then when I get it up to speed is I start with an up pick, so it's like an up pick on the first note, then 2 down picks, So your sweep is now, rather than being a 3-string sweep, it's a 2-string sweep. And then you do your alternate picking as before. But what that means is that then when you come back up, the last 2 notes are a sweep as well. So you're doing a 2-string sweep there as well. And that way you're getting a smaller down sweep and a smaller up sweep, but you're doing 2 different sweeps, which can be quite a bit more efficient, especially when you get it up to more of a pace, more speed to it, or a higher tempo. You find that does seem to help. But if it doesn't help, don't worry, just do the down picks. So down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down. But you see there straight away, as soon as I started to play that more fluidly, I resorted naturally to playing an up pick to start it with. You know, and it just seemed to work better for me. So I'm just going to play that through so you can hear how it sounds all together. Okay, so now on to our F arpeggio. So this one goes back to what we've been doing before as well, where we're doing more of a triplet feel. We've been doing it more on the 8th note triplet. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you can double that and make it into a 16th note triplet. That's not a problem. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you tend to find that that's double the speed. So if you can get up to those kind of tempos, that's great. You usually find that you could get up to say 120 BPM doing 8th notes. Well, 120 BPM doing 8th notes is the same as doing 16th notes at 60 BPM. So you could then go back to the first backing track or back to 60 BPM, but you're just doubling the speed and you can go up from there as well. But that's as a little side note. So the notes that we're going to be using are going to be the 15th fret on the D string, the 14th fret on the G string, the 13th fret on the B string. Then we'll go to the 15th fret on the B string, which is the pull off, back to the 13th fret on the B string, then G string 14th fret, and then it starts over again. Now you could use this over an F major chord, but because we're putting in that 15th fret on the B string, it is technically could be seen as an F6 arpeggio, but again, that's just getting into a bit of the realms of semantics, and it doesn't really matter when it comes to just something that sounds good. So if you're playing over an F chord, no problem with doing this. So again, just thinking of that count: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this comes back to very similar to a pattern we've done in one of the last lessons. So we're going to be doing a down pick, down pick, down pick. Again, make sure that you're getting your fingers to release after every time you played, and you're sweeping through the strings. So you do down picks to there, then an up pick on the 15th fret, which will be the pull off back to the 13th fret. Then an up pick on the G string when you're on the 14th fret. And then that leads you back to the down picks. So I'm just going to play that through a few times for you so you can get used to the sound of it. And I've also included in the pack a backing track with both these chords put together, so going from a G7 to the F, so you can practice going between the 2 chords if you like. I'll just do that a couple of times so you can hear how it sounds. There's quite a bit of movement in this one, so you want to make sure that you're hitting your target notes, so as in the first note of each arpeggio you're hitting at the right place. And experiment also with doing the sweeps close to each other. So for example, there's no reason why you can't do your G7 sweep up here, and then it makes it easier to get back to the F as well. Alternatively, you could do the G arpeggio here and go to the F there. So thanks very much for watching this lesson, which is part 3 of our 30-day challenge of sweep picking. picking. I hope that you're really coming along with your sweep picking now, because we're quite a way into this lesson series. So join us in part 4, which is our final part of this 30-day challenge on sweep picking. In the next video we are going to be putting all of the ideas and all of the sweeps we've done together to make a longer exercise where you'll be getting used to putting all these patterns together and changing your timings from 16th notes to 8th note triplets and going between shapes. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so you can keep up to date with all the videos as I make them available. And I'll leave you now with a little bit of a montage of me playing along to all the backing tracks and putting these sweep ideas together.